Hi there, this is Jen. I'm going to go over a few accessibility settings and features for your iPad. So to get to my accessibility settings, I need to open up my settings menu. At the bottom of my screen, I have settings here in this bar. It's a gray square with a black and gray gear in it. If I can't find that for some reason, I can always ask Siri for help. So I can say something like, "Hey Siri, open settings." I'm going to click the little settings menu for now. And something I want to do is scroll down on the left-hand side of my screen until I get to accessibility. Accessibility has a blue box next to it with a white person with a white ring around the person. So I'm going to click accessibility. The first thing that I want to turn on is my zoom setting. When I'm turning on my zoom setting, I'm not turning on a Zoom teleconference. What I end up turning on is a little on-screen magnifier to help me see things a little larger. So I'm going to click zoom. Oh, and it's on, so I have to turn it off. But when I turn it back on, the on-screen magnifier opens. So I can move this little on-screen magnifier around by touching the little white rectangle that's at the bottom of that little magnifier. So as I move it around, it makes the text bigger. It's like I have a magnifier, it's just built into the iPad. To get rid of my little zoom window, I'm going to touch it with 3 fingers twice. This can get a little bit tricky. Sometimes I hit it and it doesn't see my touch, or sometimes I move the screen on accident and it doesn't close right away. So if it doesn't work right away for you, that's okay. Just keep trying. We're going to show other ways to increase the text size in a little bit. So with my 3 fingers, I'm going to double tap, 1, 2, and it's going to close. If I want to bring that little magnifier up again, I'm going to tap again with my 3 fingers twice. So 1, 2, and it opens right back up and I can move it around. I'm going to close it for now, so I'm going to tap it with 3 fingers twice, 1, 2, and it closes. Now I really like this zoom setting. I think it is really handy when it works. Sometimes what happens is I open the zoom setting, and when I go to use the magnifier, it doesn't magnify anything. So the short fix that I have found for this is I restart my iPad and I return the zoom setting on, and then it works. So if this happens to you, you might have to do that. You might have to restart your iPad to make sure it works. Apple is very good at fixing things, so I'm sure with their next update, they will have fixed this and it won't be an issue, but for now it is. So I want to set some other settings in my accessibility. So up where it says accessibility in blue on my screen, in the text, I'm going to click the back arrow. So I want to now open my display and text size menu. I'm going to click that. It's the one with the blue box and the 2 A's. I would like to bold my text. It makes it a little easier for me to see. So I'm going to click that on and my text gets bolder. I would also like to make my text larger. This is a little too small for me. So I'm going to click larger text. And when I open this up, I'm already at the largest text that they have. But if I turn on larger accessibility settings at the top, I get more options. So I can move my slider more to the right and it makes the text even larger. This is so handy. So for me, I'm going to bring it back here. Yeah, that feels right. So you just decide what feels right for you. I want to set a couple of other settings. So I'm going to hit that blue back arrow. And then let's see. I am going to go down to increase contrast. I'm going to click that slider on, and my screen just got a little easier for me to see. I'm going to turn it off again so you can see. So I'm going to click it on, and hey, my screen is a little bit easier for me to see. I want to set some more settings, so I'm going to hit that blue arrow back. Great. So the next place that I'm going to go is spoken content. It's a little gray square with a white conversation bubble on it. I'm going to click this, and both options at the top, I'm going to click on. And I will show you what both of these do, but I can tell you right now that Siri will read text that's on the screen out loud to you. Siri may read a little too quickly for you or a little too slowly for you. Depends on what you like. So to control that, I'm going to scroll down to speaking rate. And if I move the little slider closer to the rabbit to the right,
Speak selection, read selected content.
the voice that reads the text is a little faster. But if I move it more towards the turtle on the left,
Speak selection, read selected content.
it's slower, right? So you decide what is the best rate for you. I'm going to leave it right in the middle on the slower side.
Speak selection, read selected content.
All right, that's all I wanted to set up in my accessibility settings, but I'm going to show you how they work, and I'm going to show you the look up feature. So I'm going to click the home button, and that takes me out of the settings menu. Then I want to go into notes. It's the tool that I like to use. And this is a note that I created earlier. So we turned on a setting called speak selection. To use this one, what I'm going to do is either double click a word, or I'm going to long press the word, and then a little settings menu shows up. So what I want to do is select this word, and then I'm going to click speak.
This?
And it reads the word out loud to me. Now if I move this little slider over, it's a little touchy, this feature. It's handy, but it's a little touchy, I will say. So I'm going to go back, double click this, and move the little slider over so the whole sentence is highlighted. And then I'm going to click speak.
This is a note that I wrote.
It reads me the whole sentence. If I want the whole page to be read, if I swipe down from the top of my screen, the whole screen will be red. That is called speak screen. So I'm going to do that now.
This is a note that I wrote. Michigan Disability Rights Coalition, the Leadership Development Opportunities Program.
All right, so that was an example of the speak screen. Sometimes I will pull up a website and try to do speak screen, and it will just keep reading and reading and reading, and I want it to stop. So I want to show you how to make that stop. So again, I'm going to swipe down from the screen.
This is a note that I wrote.
And then I'm going to hit pause. And so it pauses what it's saying. Or if I hit this little X, it stops what it's saying. Okay, so that is the speak selection and speak screen. I'd also like to show you the look up feature. So if there is a word that I'm reading and I'm not really sure what it means, something that I can do is double click or long press on a word, and that little menu that pops up, I can click look up. And that pulls up another window. It doesn't open another app, but it pulls up another window to give me more information about the word that I'm curious about. If you don't want to read all of this text, something that you can do is speak screen on this little box that pops up. I will say that I like to use speak screen. Sometimes it's not reliable. It'll jump towards different things on the page. So just keep that in mind that might happen. I'm going to swipe down from the top and try speak screen right now, and we'll see what happens.
Leadership. Dictionary. Leadership. Noun. 1. Headship. 2. Guidance. Oxford American Writers Thesaurus. Lead. Ship. Letter S. Hip. Noun. The action of leading a group of people or an organization. New Oxford American Dictionary. Siri knowledge.
All right, great. It did what it was supposed to do. It read all the things in order on the page. And I did want to mention this little box that I'm moving around, or now it has moved on me, the little arrow that shows up, that's like the menu to control the speak screen. So if I want to make it a little faster, the speech, I can click 1x or 1.5x really fast, 2x is really, really fast, half x is slower, and then 1x is normal speaking rate that you have set. If I want to move this box or get rid of it, I just click the X, Sorry about that. Happens to the best of us, right? I'm going to click the X, and then that gets rid of it completely. To get out of the lookup box that I open, I just click done, and that's done. So I hope this information was helpful. Please let us know if you have any questions.